Warning! This podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for the Vampire Diaries, Season 6, Episode 15, Let Her Go. I'm your host, Dom, and with me, it's my co-host, Nikki. How's it going?
I don't even know.
I don't even either. How's it going?
It's
that
good.
That
it's good.
So, this was kind of a somber episode.
Somber. Yeah.
But they still were able to get some interesting story details going on, which I was really surprised about. I thought this was going to be a whole episode of like a whole episode of mourning Liz, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was more until the very end of the episode.
She sure was. She sure was. What'd you think about her funeral?
I would have been a teary mud, like, plop on the ground because I would have been so, like, mushed and, like, crying because it was so touching.
It was. It was a really, really touching. I mean, Damon's eulogy.
It was so good.
I mean, that's not what I was expecting from Damon at all. I don't think any of us were.
Mm-mm.
But it was perfect.
It was an amazing eulogy.
It was. I was expecting some wisecracking, out of Damon and just like joking and celebrating her life. But, Stefan was like, I needed you when, it was more told in flashbacks, but, it was like, I needed you to say something. You weren't there for it. This is supposed to be you helping me through this, and then, that kind of translated back over to Damon and is like, this is about Caroline. I need to focus on Caroline. And it was actually really touching.
Yeah, it was.
So I think Liz would have been proud, and she definitely put the right man or vampire in charge of her eulogy.
I think she knew that he would be able to pull it off like that. Because, I mean, they were super duper close.
They were.
It was an odd couple.
It sure was. And, I mean, this is very reminiscent to Buffy in Season 5 of Buffy when, I forget her name now. Was it Buffy's mother that they lost? It's been so long.
I mean, I need a little bit more because there's a lot of characters.
She was
in
a
Buffy.
very beloved character, and then she went and was like they made a big deal out of it and had her farewell episode. It was in Season 5. I remember that much. I'm totally blanking out right now. So,
now you got it. You just got it.
Yeah.
It might have actually been Buffy that died.
I don't think so. Maybe it was. I don't know.
It was probably the mom because I know Dawn was put into that season. So.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, that's.
Yeah, it's the same kind of like level of endearment.
Yeah, it's due to problems with her mother. Buffy suspects Dawn. They discover that they were caused by a brain tumor. It's very, very, like I said, yeah. Mm-hmm. Joyce's tumor. Buffy leaves her dorm to take care of her mom. It's very, very similar. It's almost paralleled.
Almost
to Buffy. And
now that you've read it and I remember, it does seem very similar, which is It's
kind of like a nod and homage to it, and I think it was very touching. It shocked me. Like, I mean, Liz has always been a great character on the show, and she's beloved by all, and it really was a very touching way for this character to exit.
I don't even know if it was just like the feeling of a funeral that got me, but I mean the whole part with the cops honoring her with a flag and like the whole radio
The
thing.
radio, yeah.
That's where I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. Stop it. I'm not even there. It's not real. Stop it.
Yeah, I mean, but the feeling, I would assume the feelings that you were feeling were kind of, because you're still losing the character, whether or not she's actually dead. You're losing her. She's gone. She's not going to be on the show anymore. So
Yep.
you still are dealing with the real sense of loss in this fake show.
This fictional show.
This fake.
You can't say it's fake because, it definitely is on TV.
No,
No.
that's fake too. Your TV's fake. It doesn't exist. But I guess the funeral kind of inspired Matt, and following the thing, he sits down with Tyler, which to bring that up, Tyler got kicked out before it even started, and I was shocked. Matt really put him in his place, and he didn't. I can't say I would have done the same thing in Matt's position, but we all know Tyler is a huge dick, especially when he's drunk.
Yeah.
And I think it was the right call from Matt. I honestly do. I think Tyler would have probably been a little disruptive in the funeral. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I have drunk people who are drunk, they're very unpredictable. I mean, he could have sat there somber and just listened and maybe cried a little, or he could have went completely batshit crazy and started yelling at people and like interrupting Damon in the speech and like maybe splurting out some secrets that they don't want people to know. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think Matt did the right thing by saying, no, Tyler, you can't, because that would be dishonorable to Liz.
Yeah. Like, I knew an incident within the last 10 years, funeral I attended to, where it was stepson showed up to the funeral in just, like, jeans and a t-shirt when his stepfather passed away. And the family was so upset they threw him out, like, immediately upon coming in, because it's... We don't know the I don't know the circumstances surrounding it. If he was coming off of work or something and had just heard about it, because he kind of estranged from the family to begin with, and may have wanted to just come regardless to show respects. And while the gesture is appreciated, you should probably still stop and change. Even if you have to buy some clothes on the way. When it comes to something like that. So I don't know. I think it was the right call for Matt. So, but then Matt is really inspired by the whole funeral. He goes and he talks to one of the junior deputies and gets some applications. He's like, I want to be a part of this, and I think I found what I wanted to do with my life, and I think that's a good move for him. Matt needs some kind of direction.
He does. I mean, he's always been kind of a lingering character. He does this here, and he does this here, and he's just little things, like odd jobs here and there in every season. This actually gives him a title. Mm-hmm. And it sets him on his own path, and it makes him a more, like, stable character. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, he got an application for Tyler as well. Mm-hmm. Now, Tyler kind of needs some direction as well.
Yeah, but I don't know if...
Yeah. I think we're both in the same boat on that. We don't see it really going well for Tyler.
No, because eventually he's going to get a gun, and he might have to shoot somebody. That doesn't... No.
That'll trigger the werewolf curse all over again.
Yeah, I mean, he might be doing it in self-defense or, like, for, to save somebody, but the curse doesn't know that. It's going to activate anyways.
It doesn't matter to the curse. It's not whether it knows or not.
When the first time his curse was activated, he accidentally tripped somebody down the stairs and she died. It didn't care. No, she died. That's how he got activated.
I thought it was like one of those false things. Like they thought she broke her neck, but she ended up being okay. And I thought it was something else that he like actually killed somebody later.
No, that's how it happened.
You sure? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I haven't watched season 2 in a while. But yeah, I see him going through with it. And I think this is going to be the trigger to his reemergence as a werewolf, because he kind of needs to at this point. Just having Tyler standing around being constipated all the time is not a very good look for him. So we need werewolf Tyler back. As much as I hate to say it, we're very low on supernatural creatures other than vampires this season, I want to say. Like, we got the witches and we have, you know, that, but outside of the witches and the vampires, we don't have anything else to represent the supernatural side of things. So I think we need the werewolves back, and Tyler, I think Tyler would be... I liked him better as a werewolf anyway.
I did.
His anger's more in control.
It is. He's more of a, like, common sense, logical person, too. He has rational thoughts.
Yeah. But what that means for Tyler and Liv... Maybe Tyler will see things a little more rationally, or, you know, and give her a second chance, or I don't
she
know.
does not deserve a second chance.
I agree.
She doesn't even deserve to be on this show anymore.
Wow, she's gonna die.
I hope so.
Well, we with death, the show we get some life. We found out Alaric. I'm gonna say it the way that everybody hates when you say it. Alaric and Joe are pregnant. Alaric is pregnant.
I mean, I like how the news came across because it was from Kai. But I mean, it
was in a hushed whisper.
Yeah, and then she came out and said it. I mean, I liked how that was done, because it came from Kai, and you saw her face like, oh my god, really? What? And he walked away with a grin on his face. You know something's going to come into that. But I mean, Alaric, you know, his actions afterwards just seemed really cheesy to me. I mean, that it's almost like the right thing to do, but the way he did it, it was like, you're so awkward right now.
Oh, of course, but they built their relationship upon them being awkward, right? Do you not remember Rick in his terrible game?
Yeah, but...
This whole, like, the whole first time they met, it's been nothing but a ball of awkward. So I wouldn't expect the marriage proposal to be any different.
Let's not forget, Jo doesn't have her witchy powers anymore. She gave them to Kai.
She gave them to Kai because Kai was dying.
Mm-hmm.
And
if he died, she dies, so...
Yeah, which she thought, you know, her stomach bug was attributed to that, but it wasn't. It was morning sickness.
Yep.
And I don't know, I thought Alaric's kind of proposal was, it was definitely awkward, but I thought it was amazingly sweet in an awkward sort of way. I think it would have been more awkward to just propose to her with breakfast in bed. Like, that seems like a really awkward way to propose.
I guess I look at it differently, because it was like instantaneously after he found out that Jo was pregnant, and that is like a cliche thing where if you get someone pregnant, you have to marry them. Right,
but that was the thing. That was the twist on it, was that's not why he was doing it. And when he revealed it, I was like, wow, that's actually the perfect thing you can say, you know, to cover that up, you know, to make up, because it wasn't that reason. He's been planning this. He was going to do it anyway. And when Jo found that out, she was totally on board for it. Even she called him out on it.
She's still in the back of my mind that it's just something that happens,
but he had the ring on him. He couldn't have planned that, you know?
He's probably carried the ring on him for like 3 weeks, thinking of the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, so he didn't know she was pregnant then, you know, so it seemed, it was the false cliche. That's what it was, and that's why I loved it so much. So, but when Kai's transferring over his powers to Jo, we come across a very startling revelation, and that is, if Kai dies, all of the prison worlds, plural,
worlds,
die.
They
cease to exist. And the big twist this episode is it's revealed that Stefan and Damon's mother is trapped in the prison world. One of the prison worlds.
I do remember saying that because they kept bringing her up, that something was going to happen with her. And so when this popped up, and I was like, that's their mom. Oh my god. I was like, oh my god, why is she in that world? What does she freaking do? And it just seems like she's they're she's a witch.
Yeah.
It just seems like she's a witch. And are Stefan and Damon Gemini? Is this what it is? Like, she was one of those baddies back in the day, kind of like Kai?
But the thing is she a witch?
Yeah, is she? I mean,
we're under the assumption she is.
Yes.
But there's no evidence to even point us in that direction other than the only other person that we know is imprisoned was a Gemini witch.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no other information to go off of other than that.
We don't.
So I'm going to assume she is. Right.
Bonnie saw a lot. I'm pretty sure she'll be able to piece things together, but sort of, kind of, maybe get an assumption, like something inkling going. But
yeah.
I mean,
but we also know that these were tied to very big celestial events, right? The one with Kai was bound to a eclipse in 1994. I forget the year already. 94 or 93?
94.
May 10th, 1994. This one that what is her name now? I completely forgot her name. Stephanie. Begin with an L? Lily?
Lily, yes. Lily, it is. Yes, it's Lily.
Yes. Lily, the celestial event she's tied to is an aurora borealis that we saw. Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, when they're going through and Bonnie's reading the journal, it says 1903. It's dated 1903. There actually was an aurora borealis through the United States in 1903, which is really cool that they're tying it to real life actual events that had happened.
Yeah.
You know, they were in the States. I believe it was was it November 1st?
It was November 1st.
Yeah. So it's just crazy that they were able to tie the events to this real thing and make it, I don't know, it blew my mind.
Yeah, it's very interesting, for sure.
They were able to coincide like this big celestial event with something that just happened to be alive during Stefan and Damon's time, when they were around as well. And like, I don't know, it worked out really great to me. How that just happened to line up perfectly. But yeah, I don't know what she's in there for. It's something a bad enough Stefan and Damon thought she was dead this whole time.
Yeah.
So she had to do something bad. I don't even know. I mean, Kai was put in there for murdering his whole family. What the hell was she put in there for?
It sounds like, we know that Stefan doesn't know anything. He thinks that his mother had died, but Damon, it gives you two sides. He doesn't want to talk about it because it was an old-timey disease, and that's where he left it. And then he felt guilty because he didn't do her eulogy, so it makes you think that he kind of knew what happened.
He seemed pretty surprised when Bonnie showed him the video.
Yeah.
It was his mom, so I can't say that he knows for sure.
He can really act surprised. Damon knows how to manipulate things, so he could be like, oh no, oh god, they found her.
I don't know. I think it's a bit of a stretch. I think he's just as in the dark as we are. I don't think he has any clue that his mother was in there. I can't even for the life of me imagine what she possibly did to be put in there, because I don't even know. I don't have a single clue.
We don't know anything about her other than the things that they've brought up in the past few episodes.
The absence of knowledge is what makes me believe that she is a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Stefan and Damon may have had the potential to be witches, maybe never practiced, which in turn would lead down their family tree line and make Sarah a witch? Maybe?
Oh my god, yeah.
Sarah Salvatore?
It works the same way as they're doing it on the originals.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. Yeah, that would mean if she is blood to them, so she would have witchy potentials.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That could be an interesting twist on things.
It could.
Don't
Especially when Enzo's trying to do his dealio and she's like, oh, hells no.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even get to see anything
No,
for
we didn't.
Enzo or Sarah this episode, which was good. The absence of them made it more intriguing to me, and the fact that it would have been overshadowed by anything else anyway. So everything that they did in this episode was perfect. This episode was actually Julie Plec's directorial debut.
She did such an amazing freaking job.
She did.
It was so good. Direct more, please, Julie.
Yes, please. Unfortunately, this was also one of the lower, or this was the lowest rated episode of the season. I think there's just a lot of stuff that was going on this week and whatnot that, I think the Oscars were coming up, and I feel like it just ended up getting overshadowed. I know there's not a lot going on Thursdays or whatever, but I think it's no reflection on Julie. It's no direction on the topic. That maybe people didn't want to see the funeral. I don't know, but I don't know. I know the network, the ratings were at an all-time low for the show, and they kind of brought into question the future of the show. It's already signed on. They've already signed for next season, so the next season's going to go on no matter what, even if these next episodes just bomb out and the show gets no ratings whatsoever, which is not going to be the case. It's definitely not going to happen. But they're still contractually obligated to do a full season next year. So that's going to happen. Anyway, Bonnie is home.
Yay.
She finally came back. I'm glad that we didn't have to wait another, 8 episodes.
I was
7
just
episodes.
Yeah. The hug that they shared. She was just like,
forget the hug.
No,
forget the hug.
The
pancakes.
That's what started. Like when Damon saw the pancakes, he knew instantaneously, oh my god, Bonnie's back, and he just kind of he saw her and he threw his arms out like, I missed you so freaking much.
I mean, right here, I have a plate that it's empty now, but there were pancakes on this plate. I just got hungry. I ate them. I have no pancakes right now, so I couldn't wait. But we needed pancakes. We needed them. How long has it been since we had pancakes on this show?
Near the beginning of the freaking season.
It was like, I don't know, the first 4 or 5 episodes was nothing. They mentioned pancakes in every single episode. Mm-hmm. And we're on episode 15 right now. We have 7 left. And here we are. We're back at pancakes. I was so happy. I jumped up out of my chair and I went, pancakes! And I went, I'm not even kidding you, I went and made pancakes right after the episode.
Wow.
I had to celebrate.
I just, the way that she jumped up on him, and it was just one of those goofy hugs that you would only hug your best friend with, and I was just like, this is perfect.
I mean, you were trapped in prison world. She was there for how long?
200 and something days. I think she had.
Yeah, she was almost there a whole year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe a little over a year. I don't know. It was a long time. But the first thing after having no contact with another human being for over a year, and you've been doing nothing but getting home, the first thing you do is go to the Salvatore mansion and make pancakes? The first thing I would have did is called Elena.
You know what? No.
Just because you hate Elena, Bonnie and Elena are best friends.
The amount of bonding Damon and Bonnie did is substantial compared to growing up with Elena. They went through something together traumatically. It was traumatic. They died together. They crossed over together. This is a friendship that's not. This is Damon's new Liz. This is that connection. They renewed that connection, but with a different person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you can only have one best friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they had to get rid of Liv.
Oh God! Don't say it like that. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, but it was really touching.
Yeah,
honestly,
the whole episode.
I joke. The first thing you do make pancakes. It couldn't have been done better. Like,
No, I couldn't have.
I mean, I probably if I was in that position, I would have went and made pancakes too.
I mean, it's a possibility she wasn't thinking straight either because she had a lot to drink before she passed. She went zippity zip back.
Zippity doodah.
Zippity zip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was probably a little bit shocked to see this other woman. She's like, what the hell did you do to be here? You know? Seriously.
Yeah.
She wasn't thinking straight. That's why she made pancakes first.
Yep, so Bonnie's definitely going to be involved in helping get Lily out. You know, they got to rescue the prison world.
They're going to blindly rescue her.
Who's to say there's not more people in the prison world, right?
Prison worlds.
Yeah, prison worlds.
I mean, they only mentioned, like, Kai's and now Lily's. What if there's like dozens of other ones?
There very well could be. It may be something that they never explore. They may touch on it. They may be like, yep, we have 30-something prison worlds. They may collapse. They may destroy them all. We don't necessarily need to know or care about all of them. I think a horrible season finale would be to unleash all of them to the world at once.
Horrible yet
that would be
interesting.
Maybe. But I'm sick of witches dominating everything on both the Vampire Diaries and the originals right now.
So many witches.
So
many.
Yeah,
they're breeding like rabbits. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So if you bring back all these terrible witches from the past and just throw them all at us at once, I think I'd overload on witches. I mean, we just had Travelers last season, which are basically witches, you know, and we need something now, something new. Give us something else. But. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else for this episode?
No, actually. It was really straightforward, and they focused on the right things. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we didn't talk about Caroline at the very end.
Oh, yeah. I actually forgot Caroline, which we would have ended up talking about after I read it in the synopsis for next week. But, I mean, let's just read the synopsis, and then we'll talk about that. So, next week... Or not next week. The next episode is not until March 12th. So, actually, for us, that is next week. Because we're recording this a week late. There was a 2-week break between this episode and the next one. So, it's a week from us now. But, what the hell's my cat doing? The March 12th, Ian Somerhalder makes his directorial debut.
Awesome.
In an episode called The Downward Spiral, which is a 9 Inch Nails song from the 90s. So, after shutting off her humanity following the death of her mother, Caroline gives her friends an unexpected ultimatum. Not knowing how to handle the new Caroline, Stefan attempts to intervene and sets off a dangerous chain of events, leaving him and Elena in a race against the clock. Meanwhile, after seeking the answers from Kai about the prison world, Damon's world is turned upside down when he learns some devastating news about his mother, Lily. Elsewhere, Enzo finds himself becoming increasingly intrigued by Sarah, and Bonnie begins to struggle with the effects of being back in the real world. So Caroline has gone off the deep end. Mm-hmm. You know, she shut her humanity off. She felt bad. Stefan didn't reciprocate feelings. It was kind of a slow build, you know, for Stefan. It wasn't the instant love that he felt for Elena and Catherine, but it was kind of this slow thing that needs to build and turn into something like a real relationship should. It's not something that should just be like love at first sight. There you go. It's done. No, it doesn't work that way. No. This is more about a true love than it is a love at first sight fling. So, when he comes to terms with that, it's too late for Caroline. She's already shut her emotions off. She can't deal with it, and she's not wrong either.
No, she's not wrong. I mean, I understand every reason why she would do that. I mean, you have the ability to turn off not grieve. You can do what you want to do and not grieve and not feel that pain. I understand that. I mean, if humans could do that, I'm sure a lot of people would be walking around like that because it's just the amount of pain that we emotional pain that we suffer in a year, like in our lifetime. It's just I don't even understand why humans are still sane.
We're not.
Well, we're definitely not.
Well, I'm not human.
And I'm a witch. So you know what? We're both screwed.
I know, you made me my daylight ring.
I did.
And my cat is crying. Come here. I got
I mean, I know why Caroline did it. So, I mean, I knew it was going to head down this road, and I'm actually interested. So,
yeah. I mean, but when in the synopsis here, it's not knowing how to handle it, Stefan attempts to intervene and sets off a dangerous chain of events. From what I seen in the preview, it almost looks like Caroline's becoming some like mad scientist torturer that's like a serial killer almost.
well, I mean, everyone has a little bit of the Ripper in them, but it's not necessarily the Ripper. It's their own version. So, I mean, we know Caroline was going to school and finding out things, and she wasn't sleeping because she was doing research, and she probably decided that she wanted to take that on and, explore that. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting.
I mean, really she going to do some Frankenstein shit? That'd be interesting.
She very well might. She may pick up the experiments from... the
Augustines?
Yeah, the Augustines from last season.
Mm-hmm.
That was last season, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the only good thing that came out of last season. Except it went nowhere.
It went nowhere because of Travelers. Fuck those Travelers. Kitty's just not working with you right now.
She's... Yeah. So, I don't know. You have anything else for this episode?
It looks like Damon's gonna find out why Lily is in the prison world.
Mm-hmm.
Kai obviously knows because he's now he's like the ruler now. The ruler of the prisons. He's the jail guard with, all the power. And then, there's Bonnie, which I can understand. She's been out of human contact for a long time. And it's probably a bit overwhelming, especially since she went through that whole phase, that one day where she's like, I'm going to kill myself. I'm done. And then that was it. So she's gone through a lot. I can understand why she'd be kind of struggling.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see Bonnie back in interaction, and I feel like they're not going to call Jeremy.
She's probably going to say don't call him. She's probably so hardened now. Like, she was super nice before. She's going to be still nice, but she's going to have that hard shell, and she's not going to let people in for a long time. And she's going to say, I said let Jeremy go on his own way. He's on his own way. Leave him alone.
Probably.
And, I mean, they already said that, McQueen, I mean, that was his last episode for a while, so...
They did say weddings and funerals.
Yeah.
So, we know there is a wedding coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? I mean, if anything, Jeremy's got to come to Alaric's. So, I don't know.
His last night of singleton.
Basically.
His bachelor party.
Yes, Jeremy has to be at his bachelor party.
I have a feeling Tyler's gonna get super drunk and kill somebody at his bachelor party,
No.
and Clark's gonna get all mad, and then he's gonna become a werewolf, and oh my god, the possibilities.
I think that's gonna be saved more for a finale episode than anything.
Maybe. I don't know. It's not that interesting and important of a character if he went werewolf. It just okay.
Yeah.
All right. You changed your story this much.
Yeah. Nikki, where can the people find you? What if he kills Liv?
Good riddance. They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVen OM24? Yeah, that's right.
You can find me on Twitter, Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You could also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, Space.
Her eyes right now.
Yeah, she's not amused.
Oh. Oh.
You could also find whatever you find us those places, and YouTube on /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until March 12th, the week of March 12th. We'll see you guys later.
Bye and things.
Buying things and stuff. Vampires and witches and werewolves. Oh my.
What color is the road? It's obviously not yellow bricks.
No, it's the black and blue bricked road.